switch to some music. What else? It's cinematic or something. Next slide. Next slide. Seconds. At the end of that slide, Smooch, I'm going to come to the podium for the camera shot. You will, I think the podium mic is already unmuted. So music is still playing. Good morning, Infinity. Yes, we are here at Infinity Fellowship. As you probably heard in the background, we are hustling and bustling and making sure that Yoga Sunday is what it's supposed to be for you. My name is Jeff Obafemi Carr, also known as Rev Jeff in the space. And guess what? We want to welcome you to the Mind, Body, Soul experience called the Infinity Fellowship's Yoga Sunday. It is the 24th of November in 2024. 2024 is the year of divine reciprocity. So I'm here to encourage you that if you signed on today, if you're here and you got here and you said you thought it was regular Sunday service and you said, wait a minute, I didn't know it was Yoga Sunday. Guess what? We're going to give you a couple of minutes so that you can prepare yourselves. We don't want you to leave. We want you to stay. You're absolutely here where you're supposed to be, when you're supposed to be. So I invite you to roll out a mat on the floor at home, get a towel, put it on the floor if you need to, grab some water, grab a book, grab a block, grab a bolster, grab a pillow, grab whatever support you need, because Yoga Sunday is for everyone at all levels. So if you've never done yoga before, we welcome you. If you've done it and you're advanced, we got poses and meditations for you too. So right now, prep yourself for Sunday experience. Grab your kids and your family and say, listen, we're headed into the holidays, especially this weekend, and we're going to eat some stuff this weekend. So we might as well put our body in position to better digest everything that we're about to digest this week, if you understand what I mean. Either way, whatever your motivation is, I'm so pleased that you decided to join us here for Yoga Sunday at Infinity Fellowship. We'll see you in just a couple of minutes. We'll put up some slides for you to enjoy, including our statement of infinitude. We love you guys. We'll see you in a minute. Good morning, Infinity. Good morning at home. Good morning, wherever you are in the world. We're pleased to have you in the chat with us today. We're pleased to have you saying hello to each other. We're pleased that you are here for the opening of the way. It is indeed time for us to start Sunday service, and Sunday service at Infinity is very special. It's a moment for us to gather as a community. It's a moment for us to commune as a community as well. It's a foundational word of community, right? Commune, to come together. That is something that is special. So wherever you are, we want to open the way in the proper way. The opening of the way is about silence and stillness and tuning into that inner space where we tap into not only the God of our acceptance and understanding, but that divine inner peace that we find when we do something that is as simple as taking a few deep breaths together. So I invite you in this moment into a brief meditation that begins by us simply inhaling and exhaling, just like that. So let's do that at home in the space here at Infinity Fellowship. Let's just take a deep breath and a deep exhale. Deep inhale and a deep exhale. Now continue to breathe just like this without feeling the need to control your breath, without feeling the need to over-engineer your spiritual experience, but just to continue to breathe in and breathe out. Something simple just like this. As you are continuing to breathe in and breathe out, I want you to focus on the feeling of the breath and the sensation of the breath. And we do this by closing our eyes gently in this moment so that we are not tricked by the things that we see. And as long as you can hear the sound of my voice, all is well. And outside of the sound of my voice, What you hear in this moment, what you feel, is the sensation of breathing. You may actually hear the sound of the wind and the air entering into your body, and that's fine. You may not hear it, but you may feel it slowly, beautifully, inhaling and exhaling, embracing the sensation, celebrating that we are in live today and we are present, and that all is well. From a place of this breathing sensation, place a hand on your chest, place one on your belly, so that you may begin to feel the sensation of the breath entering your body. As all eyes are closed in this moment, as we all are focused on our hearts being open, we embrace the good of breathing. And as I send forth the tones of this singing bowl into the atmosphere, feel the vibration coming through, filling up the space, filling up your heart, filling up your lungs, filling up every part of your cellular structure with goodness, with healing, with stillness, with light. Inhaling and exhaling. As our consciousness is now aligned, we invite you to bow your heads as the gentle music in the background grows. Yes, right there. Tapping into the God of your acceptance and understanding, tuning in right now. Seeing that light, feeling that energy, and delighting in the good. We speak together, Divine Source. Thank you for this awesome day. Thank you for this 24th day of November in the year of divine reciprocity. Our mantra every day has been, I give, I get, I've got it good. And so as we give today, we give of our bodies. We present our bodies, as one might say, as a living sacrifice by moving onto these mats to say we are appreciative of the temple that you have given us as this earth suit to hold this divine spirit that you gifted us with birth into this reality. We get to show up today. We get to move today. We get to breathe today. We get to become conscious today of the lessons that you would give us, not just through our body, but through our consciousness and our spirit. but through this community of standing together and recognizing that, yes, we've got it good. How good is it for us to find places that are safe for people? How good is it for us to find community where people will pour into us, and in the times when we are low, and in the times when we are struggling, and in the times when we are feeling as if no one gets or understands us, that someone will be able to look in their eyes and say, I've got you because Spirit has you. And in the end, God, you've got us. When you are with us, none can be against us. So whatever names you are known by, recognized by, praised by, given thanksgiving by and through, we invite your presence into this space and the awareness that you are always with us to be first and foremost in our consciousness today. Thank you for the gift of technology that beams us across the world. Thank you for those who are joining us on all the platforms. Shout out in our spirits to those who are joining us on YouTube, to those who are joining us on Facebook, to those who are joining us on X, for those of us who are joining us who have showed up in the space to practice today. We speak that something may be shared in a breath, something may be felt and experienced in a pose or asana. Something may be remarkably revealed while lying and standing on these mats that will remind someone that we are ever loved and covered by you. And thank you for this gift of this vision that is now going into its 11th year, for a fellowship that will truly bring us together to build beloved community. Thank you for the new folks who showed up today. Thank you for the quirkiness that is a fourth Sunday called Yoga Sunday. Thank you for the healing that has been experienced by so many people. And we speak that this energy will continue to lift, guide, and love as you would have us do and be. Thank you for this gift. We breathe in together, inhale, exhale, and we let it go. We proclaim the good, and so it is. Amen, Amen, Hotep, Shalom, Namaste, Ashe. And so it is. Let us prepare ourselves for our pouring of libations. And this is something we can all participate in. Ashe. Good morning, Infinity. As we pour this water today, we pour this water out, and it represents those of us who are in the living space. And it's just a trick because we say we're in the living space, but the reality is we're just in this plane of consciousness right now. We're always in the living space. In this plane of consciousness, we are inside this earth suit. My earth suit is named Rev Jeff. What's your earth suit's name? Hopefully we'll get to know that in a minute. But we want to extend to you this opportunity to recognize the shoulders that you stand upon, those whose power, whose energy, whose love is something that you remember in your life. And we're all good in the space today, aren't we? We recognize the ancestors because those are the people who made it possible for us to be here. And I was watching a scientific documentary that talked about the millions and millions and trillions of possibilities that it took just to create you and me. And that if we say, well, if we would have, somebody would have done this 100 years ago. Well, if somebody would have made a decision to step in front of a bullet, or if they would have slipped on the wrong sidewalk, or if that one person would have just had something terrible happen to them, none of the generations that existed to get us to be us would even be here. Something so small that seems so random, and yet we are here. So while we're on this plane of consciousness, I invite you to recognize the powerful legacy that is the people who came before you. So we pour this water that represents the living into the earth, that represents what happens to these earth suits when we no longer need them, recognizing that there is no true death, that death occurs when we forget to tell our stories. We forget to share the love that was given to us by those who are previous. Now, it doesn't mean that they were perfect, It just meant that they were there to provide a portal for us to enter. So we want to recognize those names. So if you're new to Infinity, you can call some names aloud after we open this way here with libation. You can type a name in the box. If you're feeling it right now, you can type a name of one of your ancestors, somebody who has transitioned to the space of life after life. Type that into the chat box. Whatever it may be that you're motivated to do, we invite you as we take this next step in our sacred ceremony today. Together, we invite you to be a participant fully. And so we pour and we say, cool water, freshen our spirits, ashe. Freshen and consecrate this space for spiritual work, ashe. Freshen our collective ancestors all together, ashe. We praise Almighty, Mother, Father, God, Divine Source, and all creation, ashe. Do grant to us peace and prosperity, ashe. We pour to the four cardinal directions to the north, which reminds us to be a yes today. It's Yoga Sunday. So being Yoga Sunday, you have that universe that is called your yoga mat or your space on the floor. And we invite you in that space to be a yes. So the north is about being a yes and showing up, ashe. To the energy of the south, which is about recognizing who you are and whose you are. You're covered and protected always, ashe. To the rising sun of the east, knowing that today is a brand new day. I stepped outside, saw that beautiful sun, and ran right back in because the sun was deceptive because it was cold. I said, wow, but even when it's cold outside, that sun is still shining a light. So today is a brand new day. Don't bring yesterday into right now, ashe. To the energy of the west, knowing that even as the sun goes down on the western horizon, the moon and the stars bring us light. There's always light. Even in the darkness, y'all, ashe. From those four directions, two more directions celebrated by our indigenous brothers and sisters. The ground below us, that you may be rooted, so that when the storm comes, you may bend, but you recognize that it is always better to bend than it is to break, ashe. And to the sky above us, the recognition and understanding that it is a blank landscape. And as we allow our minds to dream and to daydream, we are gifted with the probability and possibility and power of bringing those daydreams into what we call manifest reality. What a gift, ashe. And then to the seventh direction that connects them all, where all of those directions meet at the center. In the yogic tradition and the chakra tradition, we would call it Anjali, that mudra that is located in the center of your chest, the heart space. May your heart always continue to be Grand Central Station, not only for all of the seven directions, but Grand Central Station for your dreams. And may your heart always be as light as a feather. Ashe? Ashe. At this point, we want you to call aloud the names of those ancestors you like to remember in this tradition today as we open Yoga Sunday. And if you have a name, you can call it aloud at home. We'll feel it. We'll feel it because there's no time and space and distance when we're talking about spiritual matters. But if you want to call that name aloud with us, call during these next few pours of water or type a name or two into the chat so that the rest of the world can see who your folks are. Ashe. Let's do this. Ashe. And finally, we always pour for the children in the world, the children in the womb, and those yet unborn. And we say together around the world, Ashe, Ashe, Asheo. It is done, y'all. We get to say good morning. Good morning at home. Good morning here in the space. I got a couple of bodies here, human beings, not just human doings. But we've got some great human beings who showed up in the place today to get their yoga practice on with us. And of course, we're here at home. And we're also very grateful. This is an important moment at Infinity Fellowship that we have as part of the service. This is a moment where we get to generate gratitude in the chat. So listen, if you are at home, which most of you are, I want you to put one thing in this chat box before we get started. In a minute, you're not going to be able to thumb anything because you're going to be on a yoga mat fully. But for right now, with your thumbs, with your keyboards, with whatever you use, I want you to put one thing in the chat box that you are grateful for. One thing that you are grateful for today. This is how we start a gratitude chain. And as we do this, it's on the slide. I think they'll have a slide that says, let's generate gratitude. Great. Generating gratitude. My name is, I am grateful for. I'm already seeing some people in the chat here, and I'm already seeing this energy coming in. And so I'm very excited to welcome everyone in. We're going to sing good morning to you, and it's going to be a beautiful moment. Kai's bringing that music in, and she's bringing it in full so we can hear it. Yes, this is good morning to you. Go ahead and leave the slide up. I want people to be able to see that if they're just tuning in. I'm going to try to do my best to hold down the fort for Lady Kanitha and the Voices of Infinity. Y'all sing it with me, though. A good morning to you. A good morning to you. A good morning to you. Good morning to you. And we say, da 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 da. Da 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 da. What you got in that chat? My name is. I am grateful for. Y'all can sing it along. Good morning to you. It's a simple song. Good morning to you. Good morning to you. A good morning to you, and we're singing good morning to you, and we're singing good morning to you, good morning to you. Boom da 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 da, ba da 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 da, a da 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 da, da 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 da, da 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 da. Da, 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 da. A good morning to you. What you got? You got something good in the chat? I'm going to check. I'm going to go over there in a minute and I'm going to read. And I'm going to shout out some of you who want to share this gratitude. Come on. Hey, good morning to you. Good morning. Hey, good morning to you. Y'all hear my people in the house laughing because they're grateful. Good morning to you. Let's head on back and see what I got on this chat screen and see who I have in the space today. I'm so excited that we get to see a few people on here, and we can scroll down. We've got Christina, Sister Christina says, my name is Christina. I'm grateful to be alive and well. Shout out of snaps to you. Brother Terrence says, my name is Terrence, and I am grateful for the word and its power to change us. Yes, yes, yes. Also for desserts like peanut butter and jelly. I love it. We're going to work that off. We're going to work that off today. But Terrence said, man, you sitting on a yoga mat with a peanut butter and jelly. Say, it's all good. We're going to work that through you today. We're going to make sure that we get you a good working today. We also say that, scroll on up there, smooch all the way to the top there, and we'll just put up a couple if you hear me read it. Good. Brother Tyrell says, good morning and good everything, family. Christina said, good morning. If goodness and love to everyone. We see that wonderful energy coming into the space. We got hearts coming in from Good Black Girl. I love the names we get, man. We get people from, man, we get some names on Infinity Stream, especially during COVID. We would get these massive names of, you know, I service God 10,000, and I don't want to call anybody out. I'm making up names as a spot, but there'd be these grand, wonderful names. Pyramid Sculptor 20,017. We'd be like, wow. And I'd be like, wow, shouting you out. And this, oh, this is John. I'm like, oh, okay, great name, great name, great name. So we didn't welcome you in there. Yes, we've got more people being grateful. So we've got Tashana here, grateful for movement. Come on, grateful for movement. Tyrell says, I am grateful for divine reciprocity. Ooh, it's not too late for you. It's not too late for you. Christina says, my name is Christina, and I am grateful to be alive and well. Anybody else out there grateful to be alive and well? Throw some hearts on that. I know I am in this place today. I know I am. Scroll it on up. I think I've got a few more on there coming up top. Everybody's chatting in there. Good, good, good. I see you. Listen, seeing in the gratitude coming from all over. Sister Oyatola, good to see you, Q, in there. I feel better than I did yesterday. Come on, man. Isn't that something? And you're going to feel better tomorrow than you do today. And we're glad to have you and the entire family joining us today. Listen, y'all, that generating of gratitude is important. We always want to make sure that we generate gratitude and that we start our days with gratitude. No matter where we are, no matter what has happened, we've got to be able to fill the space with gratitude. I had a meditation this morning. And the meditation that came through for me was very clear. And it said, measure the years in gratitude. And I was just like, I kept hearing, measure the years in gratitude. And I kept saying, what does that mean? I don't know what it means, but I'm okay. And then when I got in the car and I started thinking about my years behind, and I started thinking about years future that may or may not be there, because again, you can't worry about the future. That causes anxiety. But when I started measuring in gratitude, you start creating this list of things that you've been able to go through and things that you've been able to, those moments where you were stopped and you thought you wouldn't get through it. And then you're sitting here still thinking, reflecting on it, and it's in the rear view. Oh, if you can measure the years in gratitude, y'all. That's the pre-download today. That's something that I wanted to share with you all. And we want you to measure those years in gratitude. And that's what ends up happening when we get to the place of love and power and just breathing and sharing. When we share in the chat like that, it ends up being very, very, very special. So in this moment right here, we want to, speaking of being special, we want to welcome our first-time visitors. If you're a first-time visitor at Infinity, type first time in the box so we can know you're there. Don't have to be shy. We're just going to throw some hearts on it. We're going to throw some thumbs up on it. We're going to throw some muscle arms on it. We're going to do that. And on the screen, we're going to put up a slide so that you can take a picture of it or use your phone to scan the QR code. It is our visitors welcome slide. And we know it's our visitors welcome slide because it says welcome to Infinity. We're very simple around here. We consider ourselves the obvious spiritual community. We can make it simple. So if you're a first-time visitor, we want to welcome you. And we say welcome by sending you a note via email. We also send you a note in the mail. We also want to let you know that you are valued and you are important. So by all means, hold that up to the screen, or hold your phone up to the screen, and we will make sure that we welcome you in the way that we do at Infinity. And we look forward to seeing you in person one day. Brief reminder that next Sunday is in person. So first Sunday is off the chain at Infinity. If you've never been to a first Sunday service, I promise you it's going to be something absolutely special. And we're seeing this even in the chat that the tech crew is putting our link into the chat for you to follow if you're watching now, or if you're going to watch this later. If you are watching this later in delayed time and space, fill out that visitors form. Also, coming in December, January, new members orientation. So those of you who have decided to make Infinity Fellowship your spiritual home, you get a free, of course, prosperity class and the 4 spiritual laws class that will change your life and also give you the language that we use at Infinity. And it's really, really not that hard. Just check the box that's also on the welcome form, and we'll reach out to you to let you know about that. We want to say to you, welcome. Again, my name is Reverend Jeff Obafemi Carr, Rev Jeff in the space of Infinity. And we want to say welcome to the space where you expand beyond just harsh religious doctrine into expansive, profound, practical spirituality, where you see fruit in your life. Infinity success is judged on if people who come to Infinity see fruit in their lives. So if you're a first-time visitor, or if you've just kind of been watching on and off, and you've been wanting to feel that fruit in your life, that's what Infinity Fellowship is about. It's not just about repeating scriptures. It's not just about repeating doctrine and dogma. It's about truly growing, finding that depth of divine purpose, walking in it with a community of people who are doing the same. So listen, hit the retweet, re-X, hit the share button, hit the subscribe button right now. Go ahead and share or tag somebody on Facebook who may be ready for this experience. And if you're a first-time visitor, we like to welcome you in a powerful way. We first remind you, as you were saying, typing first time in the box, that you are not just a human being who showed up for a spiritual experience, but you are a spirit who's navigating the human experience just like the rest of us. And so we like to welcome you in a very special way. So everybody around the world with me and in the place today, in the space, take a deep breath. Exhale. Here, hold your hands up to somebody or a couple of people. And at home, I'm going to hold my hands up to you. And I'm going to say something the people in present are going to repeat. And if you're at home, you can repeat to the people around you. If you're watching by yourself, you got somebody in the house, this is the time to say, hey, come here, I got something to tell you. And if not, if it's just you and me, guess what? We got this too. But you can repeat this or you can receive it. As you receive it, know, though, that there are people all over the world who are saying this, and they're saying this specifically for you. As we stretch our hands out, we say, I see you, but you don't hear me, though. I really see the real you. I see who you are. You are a divine manifestation of God's creation. I see what you are. You are a spirit. You're more than what's on the outside. You're a gift to me and to the entire world. I see where you are. You're right here in front of me, where I can let you know, if nobody else will, that you are not alone. I'm with you, and you are at home. I see when you are. You're in the right now, baby. You are so much more than your yesterday. I see why you are. You're here to learn, to grow, to embrace your dreams, and to celebrate your divine destiny. I know all this because I'm here to do the same thing. So we're going to help each other out. All right? I know the real you. And I see you shining today. I feel you shining today. I know you're shining today. So welcome to Infinity. Welcome home. Aseo. Give me a big old something. Kai's supposed to give me some music, but you know, hey, I understand. It can happen. It can happen. It can happen just like that. Hey, You want to take a second to get a dance around, to get a little groove on some kind of way? We want you to do that. Just loosen it up. Because as we welcome each other, this is the time where next Sunday when you show up, we're just going to be giving high fives. We're just going to be sending the youth down to the Youth Power Zone. Lady Kenitha has a place for your young people all the way up to teens, and they have such a great time. So we're having such a great time now. We know your family's with you on the mat. It's about that time. We're getting close. But first, before we get deep into that, we want to offer us an opportunity to participate in the service through our offertory period. And this is when we get the chance to pour back into the spiritual community that pours back into us. As we say, it is offering time at infinity. Yeah. Oh, I got to get those sound effects that do all of the DJ sounds. Where's the beatbox over there? I want to. That's how we do it at Infinity. Why are we so excited? Because we recognize that our mantra is true. I give, I get, I've got it good. This is the time when we give back, and you participate by giving back before we hit the yoga mats. This is giving time at Infinity. It is time for tithes. It is time for offering. Those of you who have practiced that spiritual practice of tithing, you already know the benefit of taking 10% of what you get in, wherever you receive, and pouring back to the community that provides you with your spiritual food. It is a powerful gift. We also know offering is what moves you on top of that if you're doing that to give in this moment. Also, those of you who are givers who are offering today, you have several ways to do that. And that is by Cash App electronically, by PayPal electronically. You can also put your check or money order into the mail, 641 West Nocturne Drive. Of course, don't worry, we'll put a slide up for you. You'll be able to participate electronically as we recognize how good the universe is to us. So as we are here in this body, we are here because we are a community of givers. We give joyfully, we give gratefully, and that's why good things continue to happen. That's why alignment continues to happen. It doesn't mean that circumstances don't change. Sometimes you're going to hit those rough moments. But when you recognize that your frequency is aligned with giving, the universe doesn't know anything to do but to heap you an abundance of whatever your frequency is. So your frequency is lack, you just get more and more lack. Everything keeps closing. But if your frequency is abundance, guess what? Great things continue to happen for you. So as we are nearing the end of this year, as we are nearing the end of this month, our giving for the end of the month, this is a great day to give. It is a great moment to give. It is a great moment to give to Infinity Fellowship. And we are grateful for your partnering with us as we continue to grow and expand in a powerful way. Deep breath and exhale. We're going to take this focused energy into our sacred moment of action. This is where we put our money where our spirit talk is. And we're going to put this energy in through giving in this affirmative space. So we want you to join us in this moment around the world in the spiritual practice of giving back financially. In our next slide, we can place our hands on our wallet, purse, envelope, currency. Join me as we bless this offering with a high vibration, y'all. We're seeing everybody around the world. Y'all ready to be a part of this? Good. Let's go to the slide and speak together our offertory affirmation. O limitless, abundant creator, source of everything I possess, you have given me the gifts of life, breath, and creativity. You continue to provide for me without judgment or preference. And so I freely return these gifts to you with my whole heart, mind, and intention, knowing that as I give freely with both remembrance and gratitude, the circle of abundance will be unbroken, and so it is. Say it with me. Everything is good. Everything is good. I got it. I got it. I got it good. All right, we're going to sing that song because that's our offering song, so you can hum it. You know, if you one of the people out there, some of us can't walk and chew gum at the same time, so you could just hum it, but I'll sing it. Everything is good. Everything is good. Everything is good. Everything is good and I've got it. I've got it. Oh, I've got it good. Okay, so let's go to the slide so you can give that way. QR code on the scan. Cash App. $ Infinity Fellowship. Our PayPal. PayPal.me/Infinity Fellowship. And of course, via mail, y'all. Infinity Fellowship, the physical building that exists because of givers like you. Brick and mortar spirituality. Infinity Fellowship, 641 West Nocturne Drive, Nashville, Tennessee. Yes, keep that on there. Everything is good. Everything is good. Everything is good and I've got it. I've got it. Oh, I've got it good. Everything is good. Everything is good. Everything is good. Everything is good and I've got it. I've got it. Oh, I've got it good. Hey, everything is good. Everything is good. Let yourself feel it. Hey, I've got it. I've got it. Oh, I've got it. I've got it good. I've got it. Oh, I've got it good. I've got it good. I've got it. I've got it. Oh, I've got it good. I've got it good. Yes, 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 yes. Round of applause around the world, shaking the ground that we are in and on, because we love to give. Isn't it great to give with a loving spirit? Because that's how that's how God responds when you're in a giving vibration. It's cheerful, you know. Somebody Baptist here said, God loves a cheerful giver. I heard that. Said, my. As we're in that cheerful space today of giving, as we're in that cheerful space of loving and of living, as we are prepping for our practice today, now that you've participated in the act of giving, guess what? Now it's time to receive by giving your body, your mind, and your spirit some powerful love. So listen, we want to start that by pulling you toward your mat. We want you to get in place. As y'all see, I'm getting my wireless ready over here so that I can be a part of guiding this experience. But we're going to start today's experience with today's meditation. And today's meditation comes to us by way of Fritjof Capra, and you'll see it on the screen right now. I want you to take a few deep breaths on this one because there's some power, there's some energy in this that I want you to be able to embrace and understand. And he says, doing work which has to be done over and over again helps us recognize the natural cycles of growth and decay, of birth and death, and thus become aware of the dynamic order of the universe. Ordinary work, as the root meaning of the word indicates, is work that is in harmony with the order we perceive in the natural environment. Take a deep breath here. Exhale, release. And I want you to just hold that meditation up on the screen for a moment. And as we are now being able to really see what it means, I like to leave it up so that those who take a moment to screenshot it or put it in a place where they know they can find it, have an opportunity to continue to find that. Doing work which has to be done over and over again. You have to read over and over again to grow. You get up and you live your divine purpose over and over again. Today on the yoga mat, we're going to do some practices that we've done, some poses that we've done over and over again. And so because of that, we want to make sure that that is an observation of the natural cycle of growth and decay. You see it. The sun grows in the morning, it decays in the afternoon and the evening. All of these are natural cycles. Three things I want us to leave with today as we prepare to get on these mats and actually now begin to move. Number one, repetitive work is repetitive observation. Take a deep breath. Let it go. Repetitive work is repetitive observation. Even if you're doing the same task that you think is menial, there's always something to learn in that exact same task. There's always something new to observe in the world if we are willing to take the moment to observe it. Some of you have done easy pose so much that you think, I'm just going to plop on the ground and sit down. That's what it's about. Well, it may not be about that. Maybe it's about, I'm going to sit on the ground and sit a little taller. And when I sit a little taller, I have more air coming to the lower part of my body, and I'm not as fatigued anymore. I'm actually now energized by sitting on the floor in easy pose, as opposed to drained by sitting arched over. Little things, repetitive observation. If I can focus my mind in this moment when my body tells me that I don't want to do this, or when I get the feeling of, ugh, I didn't want to tune into Yoga Sunday, but for some reason I stayed here and I'm going to stay and do my best. Guess what? There's something in the repetitive work that has repetitive observation, that each time I try just a little bit harder, I grow. And that's the beauty of repetitive observation. The second thing is you are an example of dynamic order. You are an example of dynamic order. Repeat that mantra with me. I am an example of dynamic order. I am an example of dynamic order. We all have routines. I won't question anybody's hygienic routine or auto maintenance routine or whatever it is. But if you're functioning in the world, you have some kind of routine. You get out of bed, you go brew the tea, you go brew the coffee, you have a glass of water, you go to the restroom, you go downstairs, you lay out your clothes, or the night before you've done that. What is that? It's repetition. It's repetition. So even yourself, to get yourself to a place of where you want it to be today, you did something repetitive that has been proven over the years to be successful. You have a routine. So you are an example of dynamic order. You know the things that you do in the day that make you feel right. You know that when you get up and do your meditation, how you feel. You know how you feel if you get up and you don't do your meditation. Whatever it is in the day, you know if you don't eat your lunch at a certain time. This is going to be the difference between being hungry and being hangry. You know your repetitive cycle. So you are an example of dynamic order. A lot of what we do, we look for external sources to fix. And the reality is all you have to do is check in with what you know works and what you know doesn't work. We all know this. We see this even as children. We see that when we put ourselves in a position, young people, of doing things that make us feel good and staying away from those people who make us feel bad, that we get good results. We learn better through repetition, when to be quiet, when to open our mouths, when to advocate for ourselves, when to just let stuff go. So you are an example of dynamic order. Lean into that today and the rest of this week. You're an example of dynamic order. You know what you did that made you feel good last Thanksgiving. You know what you did that made you feel bad last Thanksgiving. You got enough Thanksgivings in you to judge that. And the day after Thanksgiving, if you patted yourself on the back, do some more of that. The day after Thanksgiving, if you said, what the heck was I thinking? Then guess what? Remember that. That's the power of journaling. Journaling helps acknowledge and puts us in a position where we understand who we are as part of this dynamic order. Last thing, and then we're going to do these few poses on this mat today, and we're going to call it a wonderful Yoga Sunday. This is going to prepare your body for this coming holy day. And it's also going to prepare your mind and your spirit for everything that you're going to deal with in the next couple of days, including when people get the holiday anxiety and holiday depression, because we're reflecting on things that we do not have instead of counting the years in the moments in gratitude. It can make a difference, and it can be huge. Yoga today is prepping you for observation, starting with the body. So we want to practice this throughout. Observe your body, how it feels, what's going on with it, everything that you need. We got it right now. So with that said, y'all, come on, let's get to the mats here. We're going to start this out in easy pose. An easy pose is called Sukhasana. Everybody say Sukhasana. I like to teach a little Sanskrit every now and then when we get the opportunity. But Sukhasana is simply easy pose. Easy pose is just simply sitting down. So sit yourself on the floor or the mat in a comfortable position. And cross your legs if you're able to. I won't tell you the style that they gave me in school growing up that they said this was, because it's horribly offensive to indigenous people. But this is one of the native ways. It's one of the native ways of sitting. And we want to sit down in that position because yoga is about stillness. And Sister Janet Caldwell taught us it's also about preparing the body to sit. So even all of the movements that we do, which won't be too complex today, it's all about preparing the body to sit. So I'm going to invite you to sit in a comfortable position and breathe out. This is a timed practice. So I'm going to make sure that we're exactly where we're supposed to be and when we're supposed to be. We're going to be 2 to 3 minutes in each pose. So from Sukhasana, easy pose, find the stillness in your body and check in. We find the stillness in the body checking in through the breath. Inhaling and exhaling. With each inhale, allowing yourself to fill up a little more. With each exhale, empty yourself out more completely. Inhaling and exhaling without judgment. And we'll bring in a little bit of sound just so we can have some background going. Just so that as we move through this practice, we consider that all is well and we accept that. Close your eyes gently from top to bottom. Find placement for your hands that are comfortable, whether they are on your knees or palms facing down or up. Find a place of stillness. And from that place of stillness, enjoy deep and fluid breaths that cleanse us. Inhaling and exhaling. On an inhale, observation, sit a little taller in your seat. For those of you who say, well, Rev, I don't sit well on the floor, get a towel and wrap it up or fold it up and sit on the towel. Sit on a block if you need to. Sit on a cushion if you need to as well, whatever it may be. Inhale and exhale. 15 more seconds. Embracing this stillness, alignment and intention, turning our inner voice and our inner consciousness now toward our intention for today. Decide what your intention is for today. I will not prompt you on what that intention is. Could be something simple related to life. It could be something complex related to yoga, and all points in between. But you decide. And now that that focus, that intention is coming into mind, place your hands at heart center, pressing the palms and the fingertips together. Taking a deep breath. And focus on that intention, what you would like to receive from today. As that intention is now clear, take an inhale. On an exhale, lower the arms down from the heart center. And go ahead and lie back on your mat. Come to the middle of your mat and lie all the way back. We're going to begin with a lying down pose. Yes. So as you're lying all the way back, don't get too comfortable. Don't go to sleep yet. Save yourself for the final pose. From this first pose, we're going to now transition into a floor pose that is designed to release any energy that you may be holding in the lower parts of your body. And from those lower parts of your body, we're going to align the release of that stress with breathing as well. So bend your knees, drag your feet towards your buttocks. There we go. Good. Bringing your knees together, bringing those heels even closer to your buttocks if you can. Great. And from that place, put one hand on your stomach, on your belly, just below your rib cage, another hand on your chest. Take a deep inhale here. And then release the breath. Remember this position. I'm going to call it pre-bridge for a little bit later. You're doing great. Those of you, again, first timers, if you're a first timer, we got you. Simple, really easy. Take another deep inhale. And on an exhale, lower, keeping those feet together, lower the knees toward the outer edges of the mat. Just drop the knees toward the outer edges of the mat, bringing the bottom of the feet together. So on either opposite side, however you feel. Find the position that is comfortable for you. And as you lower those spaces, you open those hips. As you lower those knees toward the outer edges of the mat, this is Supta Baddha Konasana, reclining butterfly pose. And you'll feel it opening up in the inside of those hips. And so some of you, you'll feel it and you'll say, wait a minute, that kind of feels a little uncomfortable. Well, then don't push beyond your level of comfort. Grab yourself a block, grab yourself a pillow, and place it near the edge or under the edge of the outside of your knees, whatever may be comfortable for you to get the widest extension and the widest release in your hips. Placing the hand on the chest as a checkpoint of observation. Checkpoint of observation to make sure the chest is staying still. Some of you may be able to feel your heartbeat through in your chest. The bottom hand that is on your below your rib cage, on your diaphragm, you should feel it move up when you inhale and then move down and flatten when you exhale. Feel and lie in this position and enjoy the energy. I'm going to be here just for a couple of minutes. Supta Baddha Konasana. We ask our tech staff to lift and move gently so that we preserve the experience at home. Thank you. Inhaling and exhaling. Supta Baddha Konasana. focusing on your own breath as it heals your body, as it aligns your thoughts, as it calms your spirit. From Supta Baddha Konasana, go ahead and just lift those knees gently up and down. Flap the butterfly wings. That's how I like to think about it. Flap them a little bit, just to loosen those hips a little bit more. And then bring those knees back together at the top. Then lower those knees to one side of the mat or the other. Press yourself up to a seated position. From the seated position, go ahead and turn yourself around so that you're on all fours. You will go to traditional tabletop. So everybody, you see, we're not running super fast through these poses. We're really just focusing on getting the breath into the body and the energy into the body in the way we would love it. So from that position of all fours, we're going to align our wrists underneath our shoulders so that we're not forward or backwards, but we're perfectly aligned and squared. And we're going to spread our knees toward the outer edges of the mat, but just far enough so that they are aligned under our hips. We don't want to be in a squatting position. We want to be in a square position, and that's why this position is called tabletop. From the tabletop position, we're going to take a deep inhale, and as we inhale, we're going to lift the chin, lift the tailbone, and drop the navel. Raise the crown of the head toward the ceiling. And on exhale, we're going to lower the chin toward the chest. We're going to round the back and lower the tailbone. On an inhale, we're going to reverse again. That is the cow position. Now think about that cow in that pasture. That's what it looks like with that arch back. You'll never see a cow the same after yoga practice today. On an exhale, you're going to think about that cat. Rounding that back in the hiss. Inhale opposite. Exhale release. Drawing that navel in and up toward the spine. And on your own, see if you can get 5 slow cat-cows, moving only as fast or as slow as your body and your breath allows. What does that mean, Rev? That means that as you are embracing the breath, you only begin the movement with the breath. So as you're inhaling into cow, you begin to move slowly. Inhale, slowly inhale. By the time you are completely full of breath, you should be in the highest realization of the pose. Pause gently, then begin the exhale, moving only as slowly or as quickly as your breath allows. So you don't want to take a big inhale and then go, and then jump into cow. No, you want to move slowly back and forth. See if you can get 5 on your own. And if you get to the point where you've made your 5, go ahead and take a couple of other rounds. What you're going to start to notice is that your lower back is now coming alive. Your lumbar spine is being engaged. Your shoulders are being loosened. Your abs now are engaging. Getting a little bit of ab work in here as well. We're improving flexibility. We're also putting breath into the body. We're doing it gently in a loving and powerful way. And if you find that you are in a pattern, see if you can take your breaths a little bit longer and your movements a little bit slower. And you'll see that you now embrace the blessed repetition of seeing just what your body does when it is in alignment with your breath. Now we're thinking truly, consciously, purposefully, participating joyfully. Whatever round of breath you're on, take that last and final breath and come back to the tabletop position. As we now prepare to move into another position, our next position that we're going to move to. And as we do that, we come to the tabletop position, which is our neutral position. And from that position, we'll just reach forward slightly on the mat with the palms of our hands. We'll move our knees toward the outer edges of the mat. For those of you who like support, grab a pillow, grab your block, grab your blanket, put it under your chest. And what we do from this position is we lift our toes, our feet point them toward the back of the room, bring our big toes together, and then we sit back gently into child's pose. And from child's pose, you may want to put a brick on the floor, a book or a pillow to rest your head, some support underneath your chest if you'd like. Child's pose is a position of rest. It also is a position of building energy. So I want you to really focus on the repetitive nature of child's pose. The repetitive nature of child's pose is to spread those fingertips, spread those palms, and then press the palms of your hands deeply into the mat. Press the knuckles from the bottom knuckle to the middle knuckle to the top knuckle on each finger into the mat. Focus your energy on reaching forward even as you are sitting back even deeper. Opening the hips, aligning your body, and feeling the power of the yoga pose that pulls your hips backwards even as the front of your body is being pulled forward. So if you're in a power yoga class with me, what you would get, with permission of course, is I would tell you to sit back deeper and I would hold your wrist and gently pull you forward. So if you can in your mind, imagine that you're being pulled forward and yet pressed backwards. This alleviates pressure on the spine, releases spinal fluid, and gifts you with the ability to practice and understand the humility of nature. It's the ultimate prayer pose, I call child's pose. It puts us into alignment. So we're going to sit there for just another minute or two and breathe deeply, inhaling and exhaling. Remembering that we are stacking this practice. So what we learn in alignment with yoga is that with each inhale, we make it a little more full. With each exhale, we make it a little more complete. Just a few more seconds of deep breathing there. Just a few more seconds. Awesome. Take a deep conscious breath. And on an exhale, come on back up to all fours. We're doing great, y'all. We're doing great. We're loving it. All right, then. We're going to transition now into our next pose. This is a pose that is a basic pose in yoga, but it's also, a challenging pose, a bit of a challenging pose, and it's fine. We want to be challenged a little bit. We won't stay in this pose too long because some people in my yoga classes, some people, the minority of people, the overwhelming minority of people say that we stay in the pose too long. So I will adjust for that minority of people in the middle and say, we'll just start it out and see how we get. So coming to all fours, we want to lift our feet, move them toward the outer edges of the mat, and then tuck those toes so that the balls of the feet are on the mat as we prepare ourselves. We want to lift our hips off the mat, lift our knees off the mat. Good. Now let them back down. Good. Lift our knees up off the mat. Let them back down. Lift our knees about an inch off the mat. Lift that navel toward the spine so that you hold those knees using your abdomen and lower them back down to the mat. Good. Lift those knees back up. And now press back, bringing your chest towards your knees, straighten your legs into downward facing dog. Good. So lifting those hips into the air, pressing back, bringing that chest toward the knees, lowering that head between the arms, looking between your feet, downward facing dog. Here's some tips for downward facing dog, of course. Bend your knees gently. You want to get that in there. And I want you to, as you bend your knees, to raise your tailbone, arc your butt in the air. Good. And once you feel that arc, that flattens your back. You'll feel that your back will get flat. Once that back gets flat, then go ahead with the flat back, straighten those knees back out, align those legs, and then gently lower yourself down on your heels if you're able to. If you're not, that's great. I know there's one person out there that said, it's downward facing dog, I'm about to quit. Stop. Bend your knees if you need to. You can also lower your knees to the mat at any point you need a break. But I'm going to encourage you to move through it. If you are compromised in a way that prevents you from pressing back and holding it, go over to the chair that you're near and simply fold over on the back edge of the chair, flatten your back, and there you have standing downward facing dog. No excuses. Breathe in and breathe out, hefty. Breathing in and blowing out. If you need to, breathe in deeply through the nose and then just let it all go out of your mouth. Excellent. Breathing in and out toward the mouth. Good. We got 10 more seconds, y'all. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Take a deep inhale. Lift your head to look between your hands. Exhale, step, jump, or float toward the front of the mat. Inhale, come up halfway lift. Flatten the back. Now exhale into the next fold and the pose, forward fold. Good. Find your position of success in forward fold. We do want to work. So again, we want every pose to be active. So don't just flop. It's not called forward flop. It's called forward fold. So in forward fold, as you need to, release and let go. Feet at 12 o'clock, true north. If you think of a clock on the floor and you see the dials, 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 6 o'clock, etc., line your feet up so that they are 12 o'clock and 6 o'clock. Modifications include grabbing a book or a block, placing it in front of you to lift the floor a little bit higher. Modifications include bending the knees, which will also lift the floor. Whichever is comfortable for you to find that forward fold, go ahead and find that forward fold, and we'll stay there for a little over a minute. As you find the stillness, check in with your body and ask yourself, what parts of my body are now being activated? Are my shoulders being activated? Do I feel it? Probably not. What about my lower back? Is it being activated? Oh, it's alive. What about my hamstrings? The back of my thighs. Are they being activated? Oh, wow. They're letting me know that I'm alive. Oops, I didn't mean to let that wind out of my body. Well, guess what? No urges withheld in yoga. That's your body saying, thank you. I needed to release that. Something between downward facing dog and forward fold has released some things in my body. If your body is reacting that way, it's telling you, thank you for bringing me back to life consciously. A few more moments in forward fold. From this moment of stillness and forward fold, take a deep breath. Exhale, let's fold that thing a little deeper. There you go. Inhale, bring it all the way up, one vertebra at a time. Reach toward the sky. Do a little bit of a back bend if you'd like. Exhale, bring those palms together at heart center. Take a deep breath here. And an exhale. We're here. Let's get some ohms in. Let's send the guttural sound of the universe into the atmosphere for our body just to vibrate in a frequency. We're going to take a deep breath and exhale om. Well, that felt good. Let's do it again. Inhale. Exhale om. Inhale. Exhale om. Quiet inhale and exhale. Exhale, releasing the hands to the side. And now checking in with the body, because we're going to stand here in Tadasana for a moment. Tadasana is the basis of every pose. So we want to make sure that we are connected. We're not just standing here. It is mountain pose. It is the ultimate standing pose, but it is an active standing pose. So make sure that your feet are in true north. Some people do Tadasana, feet together. Some people do a variation that extends as far as the hips would go. You find what is going to be comfortable for you. Lift those toes up so that we can drive the inside and outside corners of the front and back of the foot and the heel into the mat. We do that by tricking ourselves, by taking away our toes, because we will often rest on our toes when we should, for stability, rest on our feet. Rest on the inside of your feet on the front and inside of your feet and the outside of both on the back. Square up really nicely. And once you have squared up, I want you to spread those toes in every direction you can send them. Yes, see, your toes are alive too. I know, we keep them in shoes and we're like, I don't know. Oh, you ever had the finger socks or the finger shoes like I have? You recognize, oh, this little piggy went to market. This little piggy stayed home. That's about showing that you got 5 little toes and each one of them are important. So we're going to bring them alive by sending them out to different parts, whether they're the market, staying home, eating roast beef, having none, whatever they are. Spread them out and then lay them down on the mat and dig them in. Good. Now you are a tree. You are rooted now, as a mountain is rooted. Good. Now we're going to engage by lifting and exercising those thigh muscles. And we're going to contract by thinking about turning everything from your shins to your ankles inward. You can't lift your feet though. So turn everything in from your thighs to your quads to your pelvis. Just rotate everything in. And what you're going to feel is an activation now in your quads. Lift your shoulders towards your ears, then roll them back toward the room, and then drop them toward the floor. That opens the chest. Release those fingertips toward the ground. Lift that navel up and in toward the spine. The spine is in your back, which means you're now engaging your abs. This is also ab work. Relaxing the muscles on your face. We're going to now breathe in mountain pose. We're going to let it stay with us. It is a pose of confidence. It is a pose of stability. It is a pose of strength. It is a pose of balance. You are the mountain. Tada. Mountain. Asana. Pose. Ta-da. You're there. Breathing slowly, gently. You may want to close your eyes. You're in a place of alignment now. Check in with your body. Everywhere you feel some energy. Only feeling the tension necessary to not compromise the pose. Lower body is engaged. Navel is engaged. Shoulder blades are coming together in the back. Feeling that energy releasing in the room. I'm feeling it. I'm loving it. Good. Blink the eyes slowly open. We're going to go to our next pose. We're going to reach up toward the sky in extended mountain pose. Doing our best to align those biceps with our ears so that we're not necessarily reaching forward and not overarching going back. And as we look up between our hands, we're just going to lift our right foot and step toward the back of the mat. That is going to be warrior one on that side. Make sure that your foot is not in alignment with the back edge. Matter of fact, drop your hands for a moment. That is not aligned with the back edge of the mat and is not lunging perfectly forward, but that it's somewhere halfway at about a 45-degree angle, if you will. You may have to shorten your stance. That's fine. You may have to lengthen your stance. If I have to lengthen stances sometimes because I have long legs, so I got to push that 6'2" inches into a longer frame, or else I'm just going to be like this. I'm not going to feel anything. So I may have to shorten the stance sometimes. I actually shorten the stance harms me. But if I can lengthen my stance, I can make sure that my knee is directly in alignment with my ankle and that my back leg is now contracted. I'm lifting my kneecap toward my hip. On the back leg, lift up your kneecap towards your hip. What that does is it makes you exercise and contract that quad muscle. So once you've got that core stability there in balance, make sure that you also are reaching, stepping that front foot toward the outer edge of the mat so that you have a square going on as opposed to a straight line, which will not give you stability. See, just me trying it makes me look silly. From that point, hips facing forward, place those hands on the hips, reach on up. Warrior one on that side. Reaching up and holding warrior one. Inhaling and exhaling into the stillness of this pose. One of the first standing poses introduced in yoga. Warrior is a position of stillness. Now that we've got that position, take a deep inhale, send those thumbs even further toward the back of the room. Exhale, step forward, back into mountain pose. Excellent. Now we're going to do the next side simultaneously because we've all gotten so good at it. Now we're going to reach toward the sky as we step back for warrior one on the left side. Make those same adjustments. Don't worry about that cracking sound. It's not something falling. It's not my knee cracking, it's something falling outside. Hey, my knee is saying, hey man, thanks for waking me up. I've been waiting on that. And I didn't get that when I went through the pose earlier this morning. So hey, I'm glad to have some aliveness in my body. Reaching and looking up as you can. Holding that so we can have equanimity in the body. And again, if you are new to yoga and this is a pose that may be causing you some discomfort, there are some adjustments that you can also make. Some of those adjustments include simply shortening your stance. Because if you shorten your stance, you don't always have to lunge as far. So shortening that stance gives you an opportunity to lunge. I realize you may not have picked me up right there, but now you are. So thank you. Low lunge or lower lunge or shorten the stance, whichever one's going to work for you. Good. On a deep inhale, send those thumbs further toward the back of the room, looking up and looking back. And on an exhale, step to the front of the mat, bringing those hands to heart center. Take a deep inhale here. And on an exhale, release those hands to the side. Good. We're going to do tree pose now. Tree pose is Lady Kanitha saying, yes, that's my favorite pose. I love it. I love to hear the sounds of energy in the place. Tree pose. Tree pose, come to Tadasana, which is, our base pose. We love it. Mountain pose. From that side, we're going to put a little bit of our weight. We're going to shift it slightly toward the left. So you shift your energy toward your left side, whichever side you decide. If you're going to go right first, do that too. But if you want to go ahead and start shifting, shift it to one side. I'm shifting it to my left. As you're shifting the weight to your left, you can see that you can lift your right foot. So go ahead and just lift your opposite foot just to make sure that you shifted the energy there. There we go. What happened? You lifted it up. I was saying, yeah, you can do this because if you're an advanced yogi and you want to, what is that dance called? I have no idea. Shoot. So if you want to shoot a little bit, get that out of your system right now, as Lady Kanitha is getting it out of her system. She's feeling fired up. That means we need to do 12 sun salutations today. Yoga, you gotta love it. Shifting that energy up, I want you to just lift that foot, turn it at a 90-degree angle, place the heel of that right foot just below the ankle on the left. And you'll see a perfect 90-degree angle when you look down at your feet. 90-degree angle just like that, like a corner to corner. That is enough. For those of you who want to go in phases, I want you to lift that heel up and rest it on the top part of your ankle, just above your ankle. That is enough as well. You want to go into a fuller expression of the tree pose, go ahead and lift that foot and bring it to the inside of that shin or that calf or the inside of your legs. If you've got it in you to bring it up to the inside part of your thigh, you can bring that up as well. For those of you who have lotus position in you and you want to hit your half lotus pose, by all means, hit your half lotus pose and put it in there and hold it there as well, or you pose across the knee, whichever one is going to be good for you. But we're going to start in Tadasana. Put the weight to one side of the body, another. Bring the foot into position as the girls are watching steadily. Keep up. Good. Find that position to open that hip. The reason why you have a 90-degree angle is so that you're not in the marching band position. You're not hitting a 90-degree angle for the marching band, right? You're actually supporting the opening of the hips. And once those hips are open there, relax those hands out. Find the balance. And the trick with tree pose is to find something in the room that is not moving and look at it. So if you got a clock, if you've got a wall socket, if you've got a bookshelf and a doll on it, something that is not moving, that is in your line of sight, place your energy on it. And as it is still, you are still. You fall out of the pose, guess what? That's life. Take your time, laugh, get back in it. From that position, bring your hands to heart center and take a few deep breaths. And if you're advanced, if you want to branch out and lift those arms toward the sky, you can find a point in the next minute or so of breathing that you can do that. Other than that, find you a comfortable position for your tree, whatever it may be. Hands open, hands to heart center, branches in the sky, turn to one side or the other, whichever one is comfortable for you. Find that position and hold it. And take an exhale to come out of the pose. Lower the hands back to the sides. Good. For balance and equanimity, as we say, now it's time for the other side. Shift the weight to the opposite side. In my case, it's the right. Place that leg in position. We're just going to go right into it. Come into the tree on the opposite side that is comfortable for you. And guess what? Some of you may be experiencing, man, it's a lot easier on this side. That's how your body is. It's the nature of the universe. Sometimes it's easier on one side or the other. Take note of that. Explore that. It's something to pursue, an understanding of your body and what works for you. Again, we are this dynamic balance of nature that we get to explore like we are exploring right now in the body. So find your position of tree and stick with it. That's your story. Note where you're feeling tree the most on either side. Are you feeling it in your hips? Are you feeling it in the opening of the chest? Are you feeling energy moving towards your fingertips? Are you feeling it under your arms when you reach to the sky? Whatever it may be, it's up to you. Your body's going to be unique. That's what makes you you, what makes it special. About 10 more seconds. And an exhale to release to the floor. Good. Coming back to Tadasana, just move the top part of your torso from side to side. Flop it out, loosen up just a little bit. Keeping intact the lower part of your body. Principles that we have, driving those feet toward the floor. Oh, we're good. Just a few more poses here. Come back to center. We're going to do chair pose. Chair pose is going to be beautiful. We're simply going to inhale. And as we inhale, we're going to lower down to a seated position with our arms slightly forward, okay? Take an inhale. Reach slightly forward and up as we sit back. On an exhale, we're going to come all the way to standing. So spirit was like, chair position is there because it's going to exercise, but we can activate chair position because it's going to help our glutes. It's going to help us as we still maintain what we learned in Tadasana, keeping our navel lifted up and back toward the spine, in toward the spine. We're going to do all of that, and then we're going to find where we lift as we go into chair position, where we engage in our glutes in particular, and then all the way up. So we're going to do that again. We're going to take an inhale. Lowering down into the chair. Exhale, slowly push up. Here's what's going to make it challenging. On your own, see if you can do 4 extended breaths. Beginning to sit on the inhale. And as you inhale, pretending I'm inhaling. I'm still inhaling. I'm still inhaling. I'm almost out of inhale. And I stop when I'm out of inhale. And then I start the exhale. I don't move until I start the exhale. I'm continuing the exhale, continuing the exhale. I'm completely empty by the time I'm still. All right? 4 rounds on your own. Breathing as slowly as you can, moving as slowly as you can. Let's go. Doing your own pace, which may be slower or faster than the next person. Don't let it fool you. It may be a little challenging. Inhaling and lowering. Exhaling to come back to standing. All at your own pace. 4 rounds. Fight the urge to go fast. Oh my God, I just want to get these 4 out the way, Rev. No, go your own pace. You may find with each round, you're going to sit deeper. Those of you who are new, beginners, if you've got a chair in front of you, you want to place your hands on the chair and then lower back there, do that too. But don't miss this opportunity to activate these parts of your body. Once you 4 rounds, rest in Tadasana, standing pose. Now we're going to do it together. Take a deep breath in, go into chair position. In that pose, and just inhale and exhale a few times there. Not overly tucking the chin, looking just ahead of your mat, fixing your gaze just ahead on the floor. Inhale, sit a little deeper. Exhale, come all the way to standing. Give yourself an inner high five as you find your way to the floor in the best way that you can. Inner or an outer high five, however you want to. Let's take it to the floor. All right, y'all, 2 positions we're going to do briefly. Those of you who might want to get a strap or a towel if you need to, that's all good. If you need one, I'll toss you one. It'll be great. Trap me 2 straps. Please, Smoochie, give me a chance. Yes, please. All right. Seated position in the middle of your mat. Extend your legs forward. Point your toes toward the ceiling. Good. Bringing the heels, the ankles together. Good. If everybody's got one, great. All right. So we're going to do simply a seated forward fold. Now, seated forward fold, some of you like to use a strap or a towel. Some of you don't need to. You can just simply do a forward fold, and that's fine. From those places, I want you to reach forward and go ahead and put your towel or your strap around the balls of your feet. Go ahead. Awesome. And just keep that strap hanging out somewhere close to you in case you need it. I want you to reach toward the sky, straighten your back, and reach up toward the sky. Good. As you're reaching toward the sky, I want you to take an inhale. Keep looking directly in front of you, and then begin to forward fold simply by bending at the lower back first, not at the shoulders, but at the lower back first, continuing to bend forward, looking forward as far as you can, extend beyond the mat until you reach a point where you can look forward no more, and you are bending forward now, grabbing the edges of the strap to pull yourself deeper into the bend in a place that's comfortable for you. Again, this is the same forward fold that we did standing. We're now doing it seated so that you have some support under your buttocks, under your thighs, under your hips. Lowering the head is the last thing. Take an inhale, an exhale, extend even more. Good. Inhale and extending even more. Good. We're just going to hold that position for a few deep, solid breaths. Good deep inhale. In on an exhale. There we go. Once you find the position that's comfortable, just hold it and breathe. Just hold it and breathe. Good thing about yoga is we all are built differently. We have different levels of flexibility, and it is still for everybody. Do your level, come to your level, be in the place that you need to be in, and don't worry about anybody else. You still get the benefit. About 10 more seconds. Take a deep breath. Exhale to sit up and come out of the pose. Wiggle your legs, lift your knees back and forth a little bit. Awesome. Coming to the middle of the mat, lie all the way back on your mat. We're going into a bridge pose. Those of you who do bridge and you want it supported, grab yourself a block or a pillow. We're going to place it at the lower part of our sacrum, top of our tailbone, lower back, lumbar spine. And this is going to be the bridge position. Bridge position is gained. Like we started in Supta Baddha Konasana, we put our knees together, brought our heels toward our buttocks, as close as we could get them. Hands to our sides, palms facing down. Great. On an inhale, we lift our hips and our navel toward the ceiling, raising them off the mat, and placing a block if we need to underneath our body to be supportive, a block or a pillow. You can try the flat side or you can try the elongated side, whatever side your back may allow, and you can hold that bridge position if you'd like. Place it where you find it most comfortable. If you find yourself placing that block, if you find yourself smooch placing that block in a position that says, oh, that hurts, but I'm going to feel the pain. Yeah, feel the burn. Don't do that, man. Do not do that under any circumstance. Find a spot that is comfortable for the block to be placed. And again, you may be on the flat side, you may be on the short edge, you might even be on the long edge to get a greater stretch. But whatever was going to be comfortable for you, find that position of stillness. And then either flatten the palms on the mat. Advanced yogis, you can reach and touch or grab your ankles if you'd like. Place a strap around your feet and hold the strap. Or you can place your hands underneath your body, clasped with the finger points going out as a mudra for direction. Whatever that is, find that position now. And we're just going to hold this in a restorative way. This restorative way is going to give you power. This is the bridge pose. Welcome. Good. From supported bridge pose, take a deep breath, lift yourself up in the hips, off that block, off that brick, pull it out, slowly exhale, lower yourself to the ground, Extend those legs, extend those feet toward the end of the mat. Find a position that is comfortable for you. You have reached Shavasana, our corpse pose, our final position in yoga. So those of you who like to put a blanket on, those of you who like to put a pillow under your head or a blanket rolled under your knees, whatever it may be that puts you in the most comfortable position for Shavasana, go ahead and get into Shavasana. Allow yourself to relax. And before you fully relax, note that Shavasana is basically Tadasana, lying on the mat. It's basically mountain pose. Point those feet toward the ceiling, toes toward the ceiling, and then let them drop gently toward the outer edges of the mat, facing those palms up, finding a place of stillness. Welcome to Shavasana. Let's breathe for a few minutes here as I'll smudge those who are present with the sense of Palo Santo, and with the singing bowl just for a little bit of extra love as well. Slowly restoring your body to its current state of consciousness and awareness. Inhaling and exhaling deeply. Congratulating yourself for gifting yourself with movement today, with energy today, inspiring your inner G today. Go ahead and begin to wiggle your toes and your fingertips just so that you can remind yourself to come on back to the body. The body is fine. The body is healed. The body is okay. Starting to slowly feel the sensation of your skin touching the mat, your clothes being touched by your skin. You're in a newly reborn state. So as you are newly reborn, I invite you to roll over to one side or another and just hug yourself in the fetal position just for a moment as we reawaken the body, as we bring our lights back to our normal place. Yes. And as we do that, I invite you to press yourself up to seating. And as you're in that seating position, I remind you that after service, you can go back to the fetal position, lie down. You can, you want to feel that rejuvenation is there. But I want you to, in the seated position, go ahead and close your eyes briefly. Begin to deepen your breathing. With a focus as we bring the sounds down just a little bit. Of inhaling peace. Exhaling tension. Inhaling peace. Exhaling tension. Visualize in your mind a clear blue sky. The clearness of the sky representing clarity, representing calmness. With each inhale, imagine this clarity filling your mind. With each exhale, release any anxiety and any depression. Clarity. Blue sky. Knowing that you are supported and at peace, and that your body temple is fixed exactly where it's supposed to be, for the ultimate recognition that Spirit lives in me, through me, and as me. Inhaling peace. Exhaling tension. This is the way now. This is the way forward. And so it is. Taking the palms of your hand, placing them over your face and your eyes. Inhaling deeply, recognizing the power in your own mind and all of the senses that you engage with today. On the exhale, blink your eyes open slowly behind your palms. Then release your hands to heart center with open eyes. Giving thanks for this practice today, giving thanks for your alignment today, giving thanks for this communal effort and energy of Yoga Sunday. Closing with this gift of being able to practice together. And I thank you all for the gift of practicing with me. Nodding to those around you and to those on the screen in acknowledgement of the God in me and the God in you, the divine in me, sees and recognizes the divine light in you. In the yogic tradition, we say together, Namaste. Namaste. Namaste, y'all. All right. Shake it out. We're done. We're feeling good for Yoga Sunday. How are y'all feeling in the place? Are y'all feeling good? Everybody looks so bright. All of the light. I got this light beaming. I'm just dancing between the light beams. I'm just going through. Everything has been in alignment. Everything is working well. And you all, we've had a great practice today. If you want to shake your hands loose a little bit and just grab your phone and say something nice or say something honest, say something beautiful about somebody. As we get out of Sunday service today, as we move to the next level, which is you walking through the world in an empowered way, ready for this holy day, I want to invite you to remember what you have learned about yourself on the mat today, to remember that your body is indeed a temple, and to continually be conscious of this powerful energy as we move forward in this day. Listen, this is a practice that is available to you every single day of your life. If you want to remember and write down these poses or go back through, even if you get up in the morning and just do 2 breaths in each pose and get out of it in 7 minutes or 5 minutes, I guarantee you, you're going to begin to see a change in your life. So as this body is your temple, I want you to remember that repetitive work is repetitive observation, that you are an example of divine order. And you have proven that because we've done this together. Our steps have been ordered. And it's such a powerful way to do this. So listen, in the chat box, as we get ready to go on out of here, we invite you to do 2 things. Say how you feel. Let us know how the practice works for you. Grab that phone, send those thumbs out before we close out the stream. Let us know how you feel. Let us know what you're focusing on. If you see somebody in the chat that you don't know, congratulate them for showing up today. Quick, again, first-time visitors, we'll put the slide up for you as well. But as we close service, we're going to ask that all heads be bowed, our hearts be open. And I speak in this moment that there is peace and clarity going forth from this stream. We speak that love energy abounds. We speak that you continue, the God of our understanding and acceptance, to touch us and to grow us as a community. As we begin to put out the clarion call to gather in person next week, let us carry this powerful energy of manifestation that we have experienced today into that and also into our relationships and everything going forward. I speak that the love of God, wisdom of the ancestors, the infinite and abundant power of the universe, rest, rule, rock, and abide with us henceforth, now and forevermore. Let us say together, Amen, Amen, Hotep, Shalom, Namaste, Ashe. It is done, and so it is, y'all. Listen, as we get on out of here, we're going to have some groove music on. Again, say hello in the chat. Touch base with somebody you know, you don't know, and pack the place next Sunday, first Sunday. Bring a friend. We got the Voices of Infinity, got all our live music, got all our live energy, powerful download, got refreshments, got coffee, got tea, got water, got childcare. We got whatever you need. This is Rev Jeff. On behalf of the Infinity Fellowship, we love you guys. That's a fact you cannot change. I'll see you next week.